Welcome back to Jolah Talks Politics. I take live phone calls from real median Trump voters every night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. This clip is from last night. Please drop a like, comment, and subscribe. We are making communications breakthroughs with Trump voters.
How bad Trump is and how you think that he's evil for trying to make peace with Russia and trying to end the war in Ukraine.
No, that's not what I said. You could say what I said, but that's not what I said.
Well, you think that he's taking advantage of Ukraine and making them have a shitty situation to accept.
Well, he's giving Russia every single concession that they want, but they're not asking anything of Russia, the country that actually invaded Ukraine and the country that caused this conflict. They're being nice to them. Like
No, the country that actually caused this conflict was our own.
Oh yeah, it was our own. How was that?
How was that? It's called USAID.
Ooh,
okay?
USAID. How did that happen?
And our Department of State, our corrupt Department of State, people like Nuland that decided to get involved in peddling nonsense and garbage in they went and overthrew the government of Ukraine back in 2014.
2014 was a people's revolution in Ukraine. It was not led by. It was not a coup.
That was a coup.
It was not a coup. There was support for the people there. There was support for the people there, but it was not a coup. It was not led by us. In fact, the leader we wanted installed in Ukraine, the preferred leader of the U.S. never became president of Ukraine, never became the leader. But yeah, it was not a coup by the U.S., yeah.
Ask Gloria Nuland about that.
I can't talk to her. I'm talking to you, buddy.
Okay.
So anyways, how did we cause the war? Because we've been trying to help Ukraine get into NATO for like 30 years, right?
So we've been, okay, let's go back to that. So Russia fell back in, what was it, 91? Right? 89, 90, 91? Right around the time I was born. Okay. So we had a gentleman's agreement between George H.W. Bush and Gorbachev at the time that NATO was not going to expand anywhere further eastward on Russia's borders.
So do you think one person's word in a gentleman agreement is going to dictate foreign policy for the entire globe?
Between the president of the United States and the leader
it was
of the
not the president.
Soviet
It was
Union?
not the president and the leader of the Soviet Union. It was random staffers on behalf of the president and on behalf of the Soviet Union.
No,
it was never said by the U.S. president.
H.W. Bush had a meeting with Gorbachev, just like Reagan had meetings with Gorbachev. Okay? And they're going back and forth. And back in that time, there was an agreement that back when the Soviet Union fell, that Ukraine gave up their nukes, and there was a gentleman's agreement that we weren't going to put NATO on Russia's border, that we weren't going to expand eastward. And you know what we did? We went back with that agreement.
Why did Russia not invade when we were trying to get NATO in, or get Ukraine in NATO in 2000? Why did they wait till now to invade in 2020?
Because it wasn't at that time. That was a different time.
So the not 1 inch eastward thing is a reported conversation between U.S. Secretary of State James Baker, who reportedly told Gorbachev on February 9th, 1990, not 1 inch eastward. But that's reported. It was not ever official U.S. policy. It was one conversation that's reported. So if you're going to go after that, I mean that's pretty weak to go off of. We can talk about what's happening right now if you want, with Trump saying that Putin's a great guy and that Zelensky's the dictator. Do you think Zelensky's a dictator?
No, I don't think. No, don't put words in my mouth. I don't think
you're an RNC delegate, so you're speaking on behalf of the RNC right now. Do you think Zelensky's the dictator?
No, I was speaking on behalf of myself. I was elected last year as an RNC delegate from Pennsylvania.
Do you disagree? Do you disagree with Trump when he says Zelensky's a dictator?
No, I don't, because he suspended elections. When he suspended elections.
Do you know how it works, though? Okay, so RNC delegate. Okay, the elections in Ukraine are suspended as a bipartisan agreement. Even the opposition party agrees with this because it's their law. The opposition party went on a press tour to prove Trump wrong.
Then have your peace deal and your peace agreement. Have peace between.
But he's not a dictator, though, right? Because it's a democratic process that says there's martial law. That the elections are going to be pushed back.
Stop talking a million miles a minute.
He's not a dictator because the martial law is done through democracy. Democracy is not a dictatorship.
if he declares martial law and suspends elections,
it's a bipartisan agreement.
Dictator.
Bipartisan means multiple parties there agree on the martial law extending because it's Ukraine law. The opposition party is doing interviews right now to try and push back against Trump's lies because Zelensky's not a dictator. Even the opposition party, because it's a democratic function. Democracy means a bunch of people have a say, not just one person. So it means they're not a dictatorship.
Well, they certainly act like one.
No, you can't act like one. It's not an emotional thing. We can look at how they run their government and see that they run it as a democracy.
They obviously have it.
How do you know that?
Because
how have they not ran a democracy?
Eastern Ukraine, because let me speak and stop talking over me. Because they did give the people of Ukraine, Eastern Ukraine, the Russians. Okay, Ukraine was part of Russia. Long time ago. Okay, that's kind of where Russia was even born. And a lot of those people that live in Eastern Ukraine were ethnic Russians. And there was an agreement back before the coup that happened that between Russia and Ukraine, that Ukraine was going to stop murdering and genociding.
Are you familiar?
In Eastern Ukraine.
Are you familiar by chance? That's the same argument Nazi Germany used to invade Poland. That they were ethnic Germans.
No, what happened...
That's literally the argument they used.
Germany did a false flag operation, and they went and burned down their Reichstag, which is their version of ours.
That's a long time away from when they annexed part of Czechoslovakia. When they did that, they said they're ethnic Germans. They used the same justification Putin's using right now to take Ukraine. That's what Nazi Germany used as an argument. But regardless, they are a democracy. That doesn't mean you can have another country just steal another country's sovereign borders.
Democracy all they want, but guess what? We shouldn't be involved there at all. You know why? Because
so they're a democracy, right? They are a democracy. Because you guys don't like facts. So are they a democracy? Is Zelensky a dictator, or are you just going to keep on lying your ass off?
Well, let me talk about what I wanted to talk about when you called me. Okay.
You can answer that question simply.
He acts like a dictator because he has not had open elections.
The elections are postponed. Hey, buddy, the elections are postponed in agreement with the entire government, not just him. It's Ukrainian law.
Oh yeah. Okay. That's what the left mainstream media would like.
That's what the Ukrainian politicians say, buddy. If you look up the actual facts, you can live in the real world with us. We are here in the real world. We want to talk to you.
But I don't live.
Have you done research into this? No, I'm listening to what's happening in Ukraine from the actual parties in Ukraine. You're just listening to whatever you heard on the media because you're a little sheep brain. You don't really have independent thought.
I'm a sheep brain. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy. All right. Here's what I want you to do. In 4 years from now, when the presidential election,
and you still cannot talk about the point. You still cannot talk about the point.
No. In the next 4 years, when the presidential election comes up in 2028, here's what I want you to do. Okay. I want you to run for DNC delegate in your congressional district. I see you're from PA. I don't know where in PA you're from, but I see you're a 717 like I am. So
it's a fake phone number for Google Voice, but
okay. But anyway, I want you to run for delegate to the DNC.
So as far as the facts go, do you have anything to say that's factual about Ukraine, or
yes.
do you just, is Putin a dictator?
I want to tell you why we shouldn't be involved there, and we should be setting up.
Why would I listen to your opinion if you think Zelensky's a dictator? Do you think Putin's a dictator?
Do I think Zelensky's a dictator? He's acting like one.
Do you think Putin's a dictator?
Putin, well, he's been in and out of power for the last 25, 30 years. So.
Aw, that's cute. So yeah. Zelensky's acting like a dictator, but Putin's not. If you disagree with Putin, you get thrown off skyscrapers, right? He's been in and out of power
for the last 30 fucking years. I'm not saying.
Listen, dude, you don't need to follow the party lines. You don't need to follow the party lines, okay? Like Putin in Russia is one of the most notorious dictatorships globally. And you're saying he's not a dictator, but Zelensky is. You cannot talk to Russian people without them being killed or put in jail or poisoned if you're an opposition party. Ukraine welcomes anyone to come. You could go to Ukraine right now.
You know nothing about foreign policy.
You know nothing about like anything at all. You have not shown any understanding. You think Putin's not a dictator. Zelensky is a dictator. When Putin does not have a democracy, Zelensky does.
You won't let me fucking speak.
Words are not the thing that's in your mouth. It's Trump.
No, you're the one that has Trump derangement syndrome, level 6, where he's
okay. So you said Trump derangement syndrome, which means you don't have arguments. I just want to make sure we protect people.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Okay, so
Let me give you my argument so you kindly fucking let me talk. So you guys are all deranged with all your bullshit, bitching about Trump the last all these years. You know, if you guys want to stole the election in 2020, right now Trump would
we
be
stole
done.
the election. Yes.
He'd be out of office, and you'd have probably Pence or somebody else afterwards.
Well, he's running for a third term, so.
Bullshit. But guess what? You guys decided, hey, we're gonna steal the 2020 election, and we're gonna now have Trump again in 4 years. And guess what? He's back, and he's here, and
yeah, he is here.
He's
yeah,
here,
true.
And
we do need to deal with it.
He was elected by a mandate of the people.
He was elected by a mandate of the people.
The popular vote.
Wow.
Excuse me. He was elected by the popular vote.
A mandate of the people.
He won all 7 swing states.
Wow.
He won back the U.S. House, the U.S. Senate. He won back the White House. So last time I checked, he was elected on a mandate to do what the American people want him to do.
No. Oh, can you argue about things he's actually doing though?
Things he's actually doing, yes, like appointing Kash Patel.
No, but why is he cutting taxes for the ultra wealthy and also cutting Medicaid for the poor?
They are trying to get in there to get through to find all this corruption, and they're finding a lot of it.
Well, he's cutting taxes for the ultra wealthy, though. That's his main thing right now.
For everybody.
But it's mostly for the ultra wealthy.
For everybody.
Actually, your taxes are going to increase if you're not wealthy. Do you think tariffs tax other countries or U.S. citizens?
If you bring your products, look, he's made an offer to other companies to come into the United States and build their products here, hire American workers, invest their money in their products, and build their factories in the states. And yes, tariffs are a good way to make money. If you look back,
do tariffs tax other countries, or do they tax American people?
It does to a point, because we have a stupid trade deals with these other countries, right?
No. Canada and Mexico, the trade deal was done by Trump. The USMCA was done by Trump, so that's Trump's trade bill. Is that a stupid trade bill?
Other countries have been tariffing us. Well, we have not tariffed them, and they dump their products and their shit in our country. But when's the last time you've seen a Chevrolet in Japan? When's the last time you've seen a Ford in Germany? Okay, you don't find them over there because it doesn't happen. Because they tariff the shit out of our stuff, but we don't tariff the shit out of theirs.
So because they increase taxes on their people, we should increase taxes on our people? You're for tax increases on Americans?
No, I'm not forcing tax. Look, if you make the products in your own country, you don't pay tariffs.
What if the product cannot be made in America? So if they use certain metals or certain I don't know, produce that we cannot make in America.
Okay, we are the 3rd biggest country in the world by landmass.
Okay.
And if we decide that we're taking Greenland and Canada and making them in the States, guess what? We become number 1. And you know what?
Man, I wish I had your brain. Life would be so fun, bro. It'd be so fun to be this dumb, bro. Holy shit. It'd be lit. I'd be chilling, bro. It's like you're high all the time. You don't even need anything. You just wake up, you're on it. You're having a good time, bro. You're like Shane Gillis.
You want me to do my Trump impersonation? Because I can beat Shane Gillis at Trump impersonation.
No way, dude. You cannot beat Shane Gillis at Trump impersonation.
Yes, I can.
Try it. Do it then.
This is President Donald J. Trump, and we are going to make America great again. We're going to win big league. It's going to be huge. It's going to be big league. It's going to be ultra mega, believe me. And we're going to take Canada. We're going to turn it into 25 more states. We're going to take Greenland. We're going to turn that into a state. We're going to take the Panama Canal back. That they gave it to Panama. Our country built it. 38,000 people died building it back in the early 1900s. And we're going to bring back tariffs. Beautiful tariffs. Great tariffs. And we're going to tariff the shit out of these countries. If China wants to build a car plant in Mexico and they want to send their cars in the United States, I'm going to tariff the fucking shit out of them. I will tariff them 200% per car. They'll never sell a car in the United States, believe me.
Yeah, no, I'll give it a good 7.5 out of 10. Pretty good.
I was told by the current vice president, J.D. Vance, before he was the current vice president, before he was even the pick for vice president, back in May of last year. See, I just told you earlier I'm from Pennsylvania, right? We had our state committee meeting in Harrisburg at a hotel in May of last year, and I was invited to go up there by my congressman, Dan the Man Muser, Dan Muser, great guy, big league, believe me. And here, I go there, I sit through all the meetings and stuff, and I sit through all the presentations. I go up to the VIP lounge. He gets me into the VIP lounge and walk around, talk with other delegates, other state party leaders, other county Republican chairs, statewide candidates, congressional candidates. And here, lo and behold, J.D. Vance shows up. And he walks right up to me, and I basically just started talking to him like Trump. And another delegate standing next to me, who's a retired sheriff from Chester County, she says to him, Senator, isn't he terrific? And he goes, his impersonation of Trump is absolutely impeccable. Now, fast forward, about an hour later, we go down to eat dinner, and I'm sitting up at Muser's table with all the other chairs from our congressional district, because I was a delegate that won our district, so I had 30,710 votes when I ran for delegate last year, back in April. And here, J.D. Vance walks up behind me, pats me on the shoulder, says, nice meeting you tonight, Wolfie. Okay? Now, fast forward to the RNC to July, right after he gets the pick. I'm walking up from the floor of the convention in the Pfizer Center, because it gets so fucking hot on that floor. They got us packed there like sardines. I walk up from the floor, I'm walking around the rim outside to have a cigarette. And here as I'm walking around the rim, there's a big entourage of security come through, and it's Secret Service, because you can tell by their plates and everything else, and they got J.D. Vance with them. So I sidestep over, and I'm like, Senator, you're going to do a great job as VP. You're going to be absolutely incredible. And he points, looks, and goes, Wolfie! Because he didn't forget, because I'm an unforgettable kind of guy. I'm a big league kind of guy, believe me. And you know what? After the convention was over, I'd go to various campaign events, and I still do. I still go to Republican events and go to campaign events. And what I do is I cosplay Donald Trump.
Are you a street performer?
I could be.
Why do you think? My final question for you. I have one more question. One more big question. Why do you think? Why do you think Trump said that J.D. Vance or that J.D. Vance is not going to be his successor? He's not going to be.
Because it's too early.
No, he said he's not going to be. Like Trump just said he's not going to be a successor. Like outright, he's just not going to be.
Dude. We're a month in. We are a month in, but guess what?
But Trump did say that.
I'm going to tell you something right now. We're a month into MAGA 2.0. You guys are already fucking freaking out because you guys don't know what the fuck to do. Because, oh my God, Trump's back and he's a dictator and he's like Hitler, blah, 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 blah. That's all we heard the first time around.
No, it's usually the big issue is that we see things in a very practical sense and constitutional sense, and you see things in a more emotional sense. So we talk about like Zelensky being a dictator. I bring up actual facts about their democracy. You say, well, he acts like a dictator because you're offended. You're probably offended by black people and LGBT stuff. You're probably really offended by that kind of stuff. You're offended. You're more offended. You're more offended.
You're living in a fucking echo chamber, buddy.
You're living in an echo chamber. You think that Ukraine's a dictatorship, but Russia's not. That's insane. You think Russia's a democracy, but Ukraine's not.
Look, both sides need to stop what the fuck they're doing.
Both sides. Russia invaded Ukraine, though, right? Did Russia invade Ukraine?
Both sides need to stop what the fuck they're doing and come to the table.
Did Russia invade Ukraine?
And both of them need to stop. Listen,
Ukraine
sides,
wanted to come to the table before the invasion, but Russia wanted to take over Ukraine.
Boris Johnson told them to fucking not do it.
No, Russia never came. Ukraine was trying to get them to the table for months, okay? But Russia never came.
Putin was going to go to the table, and
That's
someone's
not true.
fucking going
You just
to-
believe Putin because you believe whatever
Boris
Trump says.
Johnson
You're a
and
fan.
the fucking WEF.
It's okay that you're a fan. It's okay that you're a fan, but you don't have your own independent thoughts. It's okay. You're a fan. You repeat talking points. You're a fan. You're literally
Let me tell
talking
you
about your
something.
fanboy
Look-
culture with Donald Trump. You're a Trump sexual.
No, I'm a Trump sexual.
Yeah, that's like the biggest
Well,
Trump
I'm a-
sexual I've talked to yet.
Well, I must be a sexy guy then if I'm a Trump sexual, believe me.
Okay, have a good one. That was a RNC delegate right there. RNC delegate, a party leader. A party leader. Cool.